What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and in this video I wanted to talk about the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. These are two new products we have never seen before in the terms of size. I mean 4.7 and 5.5 inches, that's a big step up from the original iPhone 3.5 inch display. And of course there's a reason for it. Apple wants to share market share with Android, bring users over, so it's totally understandable. However, for people that want to buy these products, you're going to be deciding, should I buy the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 Plus? So in this video, I want to share with you guys everything that's different between these two models, which one you should buy and why. You know, what was really interesting to me is that Apple actually never addressed us as to why they are releasing bigger phones. And everybody really knows it's because Android is beating on the back door. You know, they're releasing new products, they're dominating that part of the market share. So Apple wants in and they want some of that as well. Now with these larger iPhones, we're going to be seeing a lot of Android users come in and start using iPhone. For a lot of these people, if you're watching, you may have never even used iPhone before. It's a new experience to you, and you know, it is a unique experience. But in this video, hopefully I can go ahead and settle some of your doubts, give you an idea of what you're expecting with the new iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. Now, of course, once you do pick up the iPhone 6 or iPhone 6 Plus, you'll notice that the size is the #1 difference. You know, the 4.7 inch model is already a big step up from the 4.0. There's a lot of extra screen space, and you know, I'll get to my opinion at the end, but it's a really good in between the 5.5 and the 4.0 of the 5S. The iPhone 6 features a 4.7 inch IPS display. Now, in order to make up for the extra real estate, Apple did have to cram in more pixels there. So we're going to be seeing a bump up in resolution to 1334 by 750 pixels. You know, that's nothing special. It has a 326 pixel density, which keeps it at Retina spec. Now, the iPhone 6 Plus has a high resolution. It's at 1920 by 1080. Of course, it has a larger display. And a 1080p display nowadays isn't anything special. Most smartphones on the market have this resolution already. So the pixel density is a little bit higher at 401. So if you're viewing content, picture, movies, it's going to be a little bit sharper on the iPhone 6 Plus due to the extra pixels. Now, aside from that, there's really no difference in displays. Contrast ratio is almost entirely the same, and other than the actual size and pixel density, there's not much different. It's a matter of personal preference whether or not you want a larger display like an iPad mini or just a standard iPhone 6 display. It was rumored that the display would be covered in sapphire or built with a sapphire crystal glass, but unfortunately no one has been able to confirm that, and Apple didn't address that at all in the event. So I think we're just looking at a Gorilla Glass coating. So the iPhone 6 with its larger, gargantuan 5.5 inch display is going to create a problem, and that's one-handed use. Fortunately, Apple looked into it and they created a software solution. And in no way is this new, it's been on Android for a while, but Apple's version is that you touch the Touch ID sensor twice and the whole screen is going to scale down halfway. Now right here, you're going to be able to use it with one-handed operation, which is cool. You know, it's neat. You don't have to go out of your way to press something on the screen. You just double tap a button that's already there and boom, you can use it with one hand. So if you're looking to buy the iPhone 6 Plus, take into account it's a pretty big phone. You know, it's going to be harder to store, harder to carry with you. Take all of that into account. But if you absolutely need it, I bet it's going to be an amazing phone. The #1 feature that the iPhone 6 Plus has over the iPhone 6 is in its camera. Apple decided to put real optical image stabilization inside of the iPhone 6 Plus camera. Now what this means is when you're recording video, you're not going to get any sort of shake. It's going to be very fluid, very smooth. So what the iPhone 5S does and the iPhone 6 will do is use digital image stabilization. It's not going to have an actual little motor in there, stabilizing the camera, but it still does a good job. I have no complaints for the 5S. I could just imagine that the iPhone 6 Plus will do it so much better, and I can't wait to test out the difference in real world use. So the iPhone 6 Plus camera is definitely a better upgrade than the iPhone 6. Optical image stabilization is a great feature. It's very rare nowadays to find in any mobile phones. Another major selling point of the iPhone 6 Plus is its battery. Because it's a larger phone, there's a bigger housing, more room for a battery. So Apple did just that. They stuck a huge battery inside of the 6 Plus. It's rated somewhere around 2900 mAh versus 1900 of the iPhone 6. So what that translates to in actual daytime usage is pretty impressive. For music playback, that's 80 hours versus 50. 3G talk time, 24 hours versus 14. For video playback, that's 14 hours versus 11. Standby time, 384 hours versus 250. About a 35% increase, guys. That's crazy. So for that extra $100 you're going to be spending for the 6 Plus, you're going to be getting a larger battery, larger display, and a better camera. And there are a few other differences. So the iPhone 6 Plus, it has some pretty clear advantages over the iPhone 6. A better camera with image stabilization, it has a larger display, a little bit sharper, and the battery life is much better. Also, it does have optimized software for it, in order to compensate for the larger display and one-handed usage. Also, I forgot to mention, when you turn it to the side, you'll be able to use a lot of the applications like you would as an iPad. The screen will be split usually, you'll be able to see a lot more on the display because it is larger. So there's a lot to consider when you want to sway towards the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 Plus. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I personally think about them. The iPhone 6 Plus, it's a little bit thicker. It's 7.1 millimeters versus 6.9, barely distinguishable. So that's not a problem. However, for me, the problem is with the iPhone 6 Plus is it's going to be a very large phone. It's not going to be able to fit into most of the pockets on my clothes. And I just have the 6 right here. The 6 Plus, I just really wish I could show you how freaking gargantuan it is. It's going to be hard to fit into most of your clothes. Handling it with one hand is going to be very difficult, even with the software, just holding it actually. So for me, my hand isn't huge. So iPhone 6 would be the sweet spot for me. However, the 6 Plus, if I was already thinking about it, I would definitely jump for it because the better camera, the better screen resolution, and the better battery life are all huge points, definitely well worth the $100 for me. And the actual cost difference between these two isn't very far off. You're going to be paying $100 more for the 6 Plus versus its counterpart on the iPhone 6. And leveling goes like this: iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. The iPhone 6 at 16 gigabyte is $199. iPhone 6 Plus is $299. And so it goes up from there, from 16 to 64 gigabyte to 128. I can only imagine how much that'll be without a contract, well over $1,000. If the larger display appeals to you and the better battery life, definitely guys, go for it. Personally, I'm perfectly fine. The battery life will still be great on the iPhone 6. It beats the 5S, and the 5S battery life was already good. So the iPhone 6, just a regular one, is a perfect sweet spot. They will come in the original 3 colors of the iPhone 5S. So which one should you buy? Now that really depends on a lot of factors. For you, if you're coming from Android, it's probably an easy decision to jump on the 6 Plus because most Android phones have very big displays. If you're an old iPhone user, 5S, you probably want to go to the 6. But again, it depends on a lot of things. If the iPhone 6 is a larger display, better battery life, better camera, and better resolution appeal to you, go ahead and jump on that. But the 6 is almost as good as the iPhone 6. It's just $100 less good. It's almost the same in almost every single way. The iPhone 6 Plus is just a little icing on the cake. Of course, usability has a lot to do with it as well. If you can use one comfortably with one hand means a lot to me. It may not to you. So it really depends on a lot of things. But, analyze it. Hopefully this video did give you an idea of what the iPhone 6 Plus has to offer over the iPhone 6 and vice versa. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate all of your thumbs up. Have a great day, guys. Peace.